In this lecture, we shall be discussing about C++ features. C++ is a very popular language, and its core features will be discussed in this particular video. So we'll start with the C++ features. Now, the first feature I'm going to discuss is it is very simple. Why it is called simple? Because it is easy to learn and has a very compact and easy to understand. So by this I mean to say that the code, which is very easy to learn, because it's ramble that of in general English, because it is mostly evolved from the C language, so syntax is very similar to that of C. This makes it very easy because it has evolved from C language, so it's very much having syntax similar to C, so it is very easy to understand. Moreover, there are rich set of libraries which are used for making main programs, and these libraries contain lot of functions which are also supported. Some are All the libraries that are of C are also supported in this language. In addition, there are some additional libraries that help us to make use of many functions that are available in those libraries, and that can be used for making programs and making this overall logic of the program much simpler. So these are first the simple. It is C. C is a very simple language. So next is C is object oriented. By the term object oriented means that it is an important paradigm of C++, and everything is defined in terms of objects. So everything we can say is in terms of objects. So it is called object oriented, and being object oriented, it supports key concepts of OOPS like inheritance, encapsulation, abstraction, polymorphism, message passing, binding. So all these concepts are supported, and these concepts are supported because C++ is a object-oriented language. And with this particular concept supported by C++, it makes the program modular, readable, efficient, and easy to maintain, because they are well suited for real-world problems. Because of these features, whenever we make programs in C++, they help to make the program that resemble that of real-world problems, and it is more closer to the user's perspective. So it is why it is called an object-oriented language. So next, middle level language. So why C++ can be called a middle level? Now C++ basically is a high level language, that is for sure. Everyone should remember that C++ is a high level language, but it can be used for developing system applications such as drivers, kernels, which exhibit low-level programming functionality, and it can be used for developing higher-level applications like GUIs, desktop applications, operating system, and many more features. So all these functionalities supports both the low-level and high-level programming functionalities. So that is why it is termed as middle-level language. Next is it is called a compiled language. Now, as you know, we have to make a program. Now, when we make a program, it is called the source code of the program. Now, whenever C++ program you have to run it or execute it, you need to first compile the code before it is being executed. So it can be called as a compiled language because you need a C++ compiler that converts the source code into a machine code that the processor executes. There are some more languages like C, C, Haskell, which also are compiled languages, and these particular language execute the code much faster than the interpreted language in some sense, like those of Python and JavaScript. But the platform dependence feature, that is being the object code that is generated, is platform dependent. So this is an issue which is one of the, you can say, a key drawback one to some extent, that it is platform dependent. Next is case sensitive. Case sensitive language is the one in which whenever we write an identifier, it can be written in uppercase, as you can see X and capital X. Both are different identifiers in this case because it has different meanings. C++ treats, like C, treats identifiers in lowercase different from those in uppercase. So therefore it is called a case sensitive language. Next is statically typed language. This is a very important feature. Now, what this particular feature says that in C++, whenever you declare a variable, its type, that is the data type of the variable, should be known at compile time. That is, when you write a program, you have to tell what data type of that particular variable will be. It is at compile time that the source code is converted to machine code readable format. That is with the help of C++ compiler, of course. So variable types must be explicitly declared by the programmer generally. So this is why it is called a statically typed language. But we do have some dynamically typed languages in which the type checking take place at runtime. That is, at runtime, this depending upon the values that the variable hold, according to that, the type of the language is determined. Some languages that are used for this are Python, JavaScript, and PHP. Next is dynamic memory allocation. Now this is another important feature of C++, although there are memory management functions that are available in C, such as malloc, calloc, and many more functions. So that help in dynamic memory allocation. And in C++ also, we are having two additional operators, new and delete, that help us to allocate and deallocate memory dynamically. So this is one of the key feature of C++ that it helps in dynamic memory allocation. This all functionality in additional to static allocation. This is also a very important feature because at runtime we can take a decision how much memory needs to be allocated, and this is done with the help of new and delete in C++. Then we have platform dependent feature. Platform dependent is a very important feature, or you can say we can say that you have to depend upon something that can be considered a disadvantage. So whenever executable file is generated in C++ program, say if you are working in Turbo, you remember that you first convert the C++ program into an object file on compilation, and that particular file, the compiler generated file, is then converted into executable file, into .exe file that is being executed. So and similarly, if you're working with MinJW or any other compiler, you remember that a.out file is generated. If you're working with Linux and in Linux and .exe file, executable file. So these can be the format or extensions of those particular file. So when these files are generated, it does not run when you copy these files on any other operating system. It does not run directly. So this makes C++ that you have to compile that code in that particular operating system and then only run it. So making C++ platform dependent language. So next, performance is a very important issue with the use of classes, exceptions, STLs, smart pointers, and many more other functionalities. It is possible to write clean, clear, and reusable code that is having performance benefits. So the key features are performance benefits are due to many of the new features which are also being supported, and exceptions, STL are the main reasons behind it. Then is overloading. Overloading, there are two types of overloading: function overloading and operator overloading. This will be studied later, that what are these two particular features of C++. Now, where function overloading means that there are multiple functions with the same name which differ in the number of parameters or the types of parameters, and operator overloading is that the operators can be made to work on user defined data types, that is something like from classes. So this is the key feature of overloading. Now, function overloading concept, one function with the same name but different properties, and it helps to improve the code reusability, it helps to improve the code readability, it saves memory space, lot of memory space, and makes the overall maintenance easy. So this is the benefit of overloading, and specifically function overloading. With operator overloading, the advantage is it extends the functionality of the existing operator. Like if plus operator can be used to add two integers, it can also be used to add two complex numbers. So this is one of the key features of operator overloading, and it is being supported in C++. So these are some of the key features